I certainly hope so. We're about to get into it with Donald freaking Trump. So I've got a tweet from Natalie Marie, who you should all go follow. This is Natalie Marie's Twitter. And Natalie Marie, this is not a clip that Natalie Marie herself made, but she did find it. And she is a finder of good things. So let's see what Trump's got for us.
Because the liberal left won't let him do it. The liberal left wants to destroy him, and they want to destroy our country. You know, if you had one day, like one real rough, nasty day with the drugstores as an example, but they have to be taught. Now, if you had one really violent day, like a guy like Mike Kelly, put him in charge, Congressman.
Okay, now who is Mike Kelly? Who's this chud?
Kelly, put him in charge for one day. Mike, would you say, he's right here, it's a chain of events that's so bad. One rough hour, and I mean real rough, the word will get out and it will end immediately. End immediately. You know, it'll end immediately. Crooked Joe Biden. Do it because
So when I heard about this, I was immediately worried, right? This sounds to a lot of people like Donald Trump just doing his thing. And, you know, it is definitely like on brand for him, I guess. But the thing that I don't like about this is that he is playing to people's dark fantasies now. In a way that he always did. You remember, get him out of here, get him out of here. And it cops, if you put him in the, you know, if you put them in the backseat of the car and they're always like, make sure to like keep their head, you know, from hitting the thing. Don't worry about that. Just bang their head into the fucking car, right? He's got all these, like, he's got all this ed. He is an ed and a half, right? A half an hour or so would be short. If an egg hits someone at top or bottom, it, sorry, Kelly, that's a different Kelly. Like, who is this guy? Mike Kelly. This is Mike Kelly. You're thinking of Mark Kelly. This is a Pennsylvania guy named Mike Kelly. Let's find out why it is that Trump thinks that this guy would be so into the ultra-violence. This is Droogie Trump. This is Clockwork Orange Trump. That's what makes me nervous about this shit. That's what's scary about this shit, right? This is him literally indulging in the old ultra-violence after listening to a bit of the Ludwig van. In 2019, he said that as a person of Irish and Anglo-Saxon descent, he considers himself a person of color. There we go. That's what this guy's kind of known for. That's, you know, in the age of Trump, I guess you got to say something. You got to say something freaky. You got to say something weird, right? To get on the map. Because, like, you're competing with Lauren Beetlejuice Boebert, Marjorie Bad-Built Taylor Greene. You're dealing with so many weird people, so many weird fuckers, right? Just to get a little bit of notoriety so people know who you are and don't get you mixed up with an astronaut from Arizona. In 2015, Kelly co-sponsored a resolution to amend the U.S. Constitution to ban same-sex marriage. In 2022, he was one of 157 Republicans to vote against a bill protecting same-sex and interracial marriage. But where is Trump getting the Okay, in July 2024, following the attempted assassination of Donald Trump in Kelly's hometown, Kelly initially released a post that stated, "We will not tolerate this attack from the left." How hilarious, considering that it was a Republican that took the shot. Despite the fact that no information about the shooter's background or motivation was publicly known at that point, he doesn't care. He's looking to do the old ultra violence. Right? This is literally Clockwork Orange. The post was subsequently deleted. Okay, so at least, I mean, I guess that's... He deleted the post, right? Some of these fuckers don't do it. Some of these fuckers, they just giga chat it, right? Kelly introduced a resolution to formally call for a bipartisan House task force to investigate the incident. Kelly was also selected as chair to task the task force investigating the assassination attempt. Okay, so there's where I see the fact that before knowing anything about the shooter, he tweets out, "We will not tolerate this attack from the left." Basically, trying to get something started. Is that why Trump thinks that Mark Kelly is his guy to do the purge with? Signed an amicus brief to support Texas versus Pennsylvania lawsuit in the United States Supreme Court contesting the results of the 2020 election. So he's a bit of a election denialist. The Supreme Court declined to hear it. He's standing. Amid ballot counting in the 2020 election, Kelly filed a lawsuit to stop Pennsylvania from allowing voters to fix mistakes on their ballots. After Biden won Pennsylvania, Kelly filed a suit arguing that all mail-in ballots cast in the state, more than 2.5 million, should be discarded. Now, that is not all mail-in ballots that get there after the date of the election, as is what they're trying to do right now in Mississippi, and bring that to the Supreme Court to make that a nationwide thing, where if your ballot arrived there late, your vote would not count, right? That is all mail-in ballots cast in the state. 2.5 million, it says, should be discarded, which would result in flipping the state to Trump. Or if that was not possible, the electors for the president should instead be chosen by the legislature. If successful, this suit would have retroactively disenfranchised millions of Pennsylvania voters in the election. On November 28th of 2020, Pennsylvania Supreme Court unanimously rejected Kelly's suit, additionally ruling dismissed with prejudice. Yeah, so not... He compares Trump's first impeachment to the attack on Pearl Harbor. Deep state conspiracies. When speaking at a Mercer County Republican Party event in 2017, Kelly advanced the conspiracy theory that the former President Barack Obama was running a shadow government to undermine President Trump. In 2017, so as Trump is president, after he's inaugurated, right? So Trump is inaugurated, but he's like, no, but Donald Trump's not really running the country. It's secretly Obama with his shadow presidency. When asked about these remarks, Kelly said that they were meant to be private, so he did not want to expand on what he was saying there. After the remarks made national news, Kelly's spokesperson said that Kelly did not believe that Obama is personally operating a shadow government. Wow. He got a lot of debt forgiveness for his PPP loan. I'm just trying to find anything that is specifically related to law enforcement, violence, police violence, because that's what Trump is implying here, right? You give the cops 1 hour with no rules, and they will stop the supposed epidemic of shoplifting. Now, chat, we talk about this all the time. Is there a rise in crime currently? The correct answer is no. The correct answer is that crime is not up. Crime is down. All right? But there is one type of crime that has very recently gone up, and that is shoplifting. It's gone up to 2019 levels. In other words, during the pandemic and the lockdown, shoplifting decreased massively. And it has recently come back up to the levels it was at before. So that's not a rise in crime. That's not an epidemic of shoplifting. That's certainly not what you're going to see portrayed in Republican media as some kind of like an organized effort to, you know, fence, you know, fucking drugstore and grocery type goods in order to resell them, right? That is just the regular amount of shoplifting that was going on in 2019 resuming. And when companies get shoplifted, it's called shrinkage. And if it's a normal amount, then all that happens is that the company's insurance pays them back for the shrinkage, right? They've got, I think, am I saying it right? It's a shrinkage, right? Yeah, it's much like Trump's crowds, shrinkage, right? Hate crimes against Asians went up. Yeah, okay, so also hate crimes against Asians and hate crimes against LGBT people, right? That's a subset of violent crimes that has gone up. In fact, in two different time periods. People are poor. Yeah, that's the other thing. Well, no, like Bloodstone, just please understand this. The level of shoplifting right now is like the level in 2019. It's not an increase. It's just the same rate of shoplifting. It's gone up because it was down. But now that, you know, like that's literally all it is. That's literally all it is. There is no rise in crime. There is, as somebody, or was during the pandemic, as somebody pointed out, a rise in hate crimes against Asian people, and is currently a rise in crimes against violent crimes against LGBTQ people, right? But those are the two categories, subcategories in that case, that are up. Let's see what else Natalie's got for us. Thank you, Natalie, for finding this, by the way.
A lot of people don't give. I know a lot about overtime. I'd hated to give overtime. I hated it. I'd get other people, I shouldn't say this, but I'd get other people in, I wouldn't pay. I hated. This is going to lead to a lot of people don't give. I know a lot about overtime. I'd hated to give overtime. I hated it. I'd get other people, I shouldn't say this, but I'd get other people in, I wouldn't pay. I hated.
You'd get other people in, right? So he's saying that to avoid paying overtime, he would try to disperse the hours. Chat, need I remind you that part of Project 2025 is getting rid of overtime? Now, I guess we don't have the rest of the... We'll try to find this rally. This is a rally in Pennsylvania fairly recently. Let's see if we can track this one down. Oh, God. So we got the purge, we got the overtime purge. I am trying to find...
The presidential candidates are working to court voters on the campaign trail as former President Trump continues his rhetoric.
It's Chicago.
Against Vice President Kamala.
Where is he? Where is he?
At a rally today, Trump called for
At a rally where? It's got to be in Wisconsin.
Policies. Last night, he called her mentally impaired. Illinois Governor
Oh my God, you're not going to show the freaking clip, you assholes.
Calling.
Only a mentally disabled person could have allowed this to happen to our country.
I think whenever he says,
It's cut up, it's cut up, it's cut up. I need the whole clip. God damn it. Trump rally. We got a Wisconsin one. From 2 days ago, there it is.
Well, thank you very much, everybody. This is great. I want to just thank Derek, who is an incredible congressman. So respected.
Now, I don't want to be, judging people or promoting the judgment of people for things like, cognitive impairment, which happens to a lot of people as they age. But I do want to point out the irony of Trump asserting some sort of mental impairment in Kamala Harris, considering his own struggles. Okay, so here we go. It starts, it's pretty soon. Now, he's talking about Biden, right? I think that's how he gets to... See what he has to say here.
And kill the people of the United
Oh, wait, we gotta switch over to this version. This version. There you go. There you go. All right, let's take a look at this.
States of America, and they're not going to change. They're only going to get worse. They're only going to get worse. And our law enforcement system, we have the greatest in the world, but our people are told not to do their jobs. We don't want you to do anything. And they come from tough systems. They're going to love our system. Kamala is mentally impaired. If a Republican did what she did.
So chat, one in chat, if you think that this is what Donald Trump calls an audible, right? If you don't know, that's a football term for when the quarterback, I think, changes the play last minute, right? So what that means is that Trump, it wasn't in the script. It wasn't something he was supposed to say, but he said it anyway. He felt the spirit move him, and he decided to be like, Kamala is mentally impaired. Do you think that? That's one. Or two, they wrote that. They meant that. They're going for that. That's the strategy. What do you think? Is it the strategy, or is it just incidental?
If a Republican did what she did, that Republican would be impeached and removed from office, and rightfully so.
You can vote too, Shorts chat. Tell me what you think. One, you think that Trump added that against maybe, or in spite of the wishes of his campaign managers? Or two, that's what the campaign's going with. What do you think? Do you think that was on purpose? Do you think that was a last minute?
For high crimes and misdemeanors, that would be high crimes and misdemeanors.
The Last Jaguar agrees with Trump.
Think of it. 13,099 murderers convicted of murder, not like convicted of...
But look at who we're watching. Last Black Jaguar. Look at who we're watching. This is the guy that we're watching. Now, if you want to say that some people are more like with it than other people, some people are more aware, some people seem more cogent in their speech, some people are more prone to misspeaking or speaking word salad, things that don't make any sense, right? You got to look at your own guy first. And I don't know, the Trump fans, they're like the person that stepped in dog shit and they're walking everywhere and they're like, why does it smell like shit everywhere? I can't believe that it smells. Why does it smell like shit? And it's like, check your shoes. That's your guy that smells like shit. That's your guy that can't put two words together. That's your guy that only looks good when he's put up against Joe Biden. When he's put up against a walking corpse, he looks okay, right? In the debate, the first debate that he did, he managed himself fine, or at least he seemed to, because we weren't really paying attention to this guy, considering that the other guy was like, we finally beat Medicare, you know? And when you compare Donald Trump to somebody that is not an aging syphilitic octogenarian, he doesn't look so good. He doesn't look so hot. And I don't know what kind of MAGA blinders you gotta have on your face to not see that, because it's staring you in the face. Now you can say, and I'm sure some of you do, I'm gonna vote for him anyway. Yeah, he's fucked up. Yeah, he doesn't sound like he knows what he's talking about. Yeah, he's all over the place. Yeah, he's slobbering on himself. Yeah, you know what I mean? You can say that, but I'm going to vote for him anyway. You're going to say that I hate Kamala Harris so much. I think that Democrats are freaking communists, invading radicals. And we got to save our country through MAGA. We got to make America healthy and wealthy and syphilitic once again. And this guy's our only hope, right? Maybe you say that, right? Maybe that's your hope. But you cannot say that this guy is any less incompetent for the office, for even running for office, right? And communicating than Joe Biden. He is very fucking similar in his age-related issues to Joe Biden.
Murder. Some of the worst murders you've ever seen. They're all in our country now, every one of them. And I've been saying this for 3 years, and the fake news has been saying, well, you don't know that. Well, now we know it. They've never released a list like this. Not just on this, they've never done it. Over the years, they've never done it. She let in, and that's not even mentioning the rapists, the gang members, the drug dealers, the child predators, and the traffickers in women. Mostly women. Joe Biden became mentally impaired. Kamala was born that way. Okay.
So yeah, there we go. Kamala was born that way. Of all the shit to make fun of somebody for, right? Of all the shit for Trump to go after, this only makes sense to somebody that lives up Trump's butt. This only makes sense to the MAGA diehards. The rest of America is just standing there with their mouth agape. Just kind of, you sure you want to go there, buddy? You sure you want to go there? You want to talk about mental impairment? Yeah? Is that what we're doing? Is that what we're doing, Donald?
She was born that way.
And also, if she is a mentally disabled person, as Donald Trump is about to argue, and you lost a debate to her, what does that make you? Did you think about that, like, for a second? Did that cross your mind? Because it's crossing the minds of undecided voters right now.
And if you think about it, only a mentally disabled person could have allowed this to happen to us.
Also, look at how he's regarding mentally disabled people, right? He's using that as a slur. He's using that as a put down. Like, Trump is this close from going full chud logic and calling her the R slur. This is a boomer R slur that he's doing. And it's coming from somebody that just maybe should check for the dog shit on their own shoes before they say it smells like shit in here. Yes, it does, Donald. It smells like shit everywhere you go. And that's because you're tracking it in.
Country, anybody would know this. And before I knew the numbers, I was saying it for a long time. They're coming in, they're murderers. I've said it so much. They're from jails. I say jails and prisons, there's a difference. One's a little stronger than the other, as you understand.
That's the difference, is that a jail, the bars can be made of candy canes, right? and if you try, if you gnaw on them long enough, you can get through. You can get through there, but like in prison, they're, I don't know, never-ending gobstoppers. I don't know. What is he talking about?
They come from mental institutions.
Oh, please, can we get a Hannibal Lecter?
Insane asylums. How many?
Yeah. Insane asylums. Who lives in an insane asylum, Donald? Who lives in an insane asylum?
Times have you heard?
Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? Hmm?
There's also a difference there. One's a little bit stronger than the others.
Did you just repeat yourself, motherfucker? Did he repeat himself, or did my...
Disabled person
She's mentally disabled.
could have allowed this to happen to our country. Anybody would know this. And before I knew the numbers, I was saying it for a long time. They're coming in, they're murderers. I said it so much. They're from jails. I say jails and prisons, there's a difference. One's a little stronger than the other, as you understand. They come from mental institutions and insane asylums. How many times have you heard? There's also a difference there. One's a little bit stronger than the others. And they're terrorists. They're terrorists. They're terrorists at the highest level. We have some of the...
I love being talked down to by somebody that my 4th grade self would be able to run mental circles around. I love being talked down to by such a person. It is very interesting. Oh, you wouldn't understand this, but jails and prisons, there's a difference. One's a little stronger. Mental institutions and asylum, there's a difference. One's a little stronger.
The greatest terrorists in the world.
Like, that's it, Trump. That's it. That they're a little, the bars are a little stronger, right? Miss Piggy can break out of jail. Miss Piggy cannot break out of prison, right? That's why it's a good thing that they didn't put her in prison.
Country right now. We have no idea where they are. We have no idea anything about them. They could be in Iowa. They could be in Idaho. They could be here. Because
they could be the late great Hannibal Lecter.
Every border is right now running around every state. Every state is a border town. Every state is a border state. They're flying them in by the hundreds of thousands. Can you believe it? Even yesterday when she was talking about how she's going to start getting very tough. Why didn't she do this 4 years ago? And she lies so much. She lies so much. How about she lies? She said...
Again, Trump, of all the things to criticize somebody else for doing, right? Your lies don't come up because they are a dog bites man story, right? You lying is a Tuesday. You lying is so fucking normalized that it's not news, right? But when you start throwing that allegation around and then you're proven to be wrong, then the story becomes Donald Trump is lying about Kamala Harris lying, and guess what? He's told a bunch of other lies too. Look, oh, there's a whole string of them. This guy does nothing but fucking lying. I'm sorry, but you're the wrong messenger to call somebody else out on their honesty.
Donald Trump ripped the babies out of the crib. I ripped the babies out of a crib. No, and it was actually President Obama that built the cages. Remember when they were saying, Donald Trump, and they show a picture of cages, and then I was lucky enough, somebody from Border Patrol said, no, that was in 2014. That was Obama. And then that story went away very rapidly, remember? All of a sudden, the cage story went away when it wasn't me. Now she lies. Well, look, I mean, the simplest lie is that she worked at McDonald's and she never worked at McDonald's.
There's never any proof. I don't know what the fucking proof would be. She never worked at McDonald's. Right? No, she did. As a high school student, she did. Right? It wasn't a job that she had as part of her career. But she did work at McDonald's. And also, Trump, you have some soft hands, sir. Anybody else notice this man's soft hands? This guy has never, ever worked a day in his life. His idea of work is yelling at people to do something for him. His idea of work is you're fired. He's never done anything. What the fuck is he talking about? Why would he even bring this up? Right? He is not somebody that you can relate to. And if you think that you can, you are more of a sucker than I thought. You're more of a sucker. This man has some soft hands, okay? I am telling you. These hands have never done a day of work, have never done an hour of work, have never done a second of work. Why would they? He was born with a silver spoon in his mouth. He inherited money to be a big shot, and then he lost the money, and then he got bailed out, and then he lost it again. Right? This guy failed out of the fucking casino business, right? The business where you skim famously money off the top. Not this guy. He loses his ass on casinos. He loses his ass on real estate, right? The only thing he's ever really good at is as a reality star. He's good at bullshitting people. He's good at lying to people. He's good at ripping people off. He's good at not paying overtime to people. He's good at firing people for their union affiliation, right? These are the things that he's good at. He's good at scumbagging people. He's good at rat fucking people. He learned from the best, Roy Cohn, lest we forget.
She worked at McDonald's, and I didn't work there. She didn't work there.
You didn't work anywhere. You didn't even come close to working anywhere. What are you talking about?
I'm going to go to a McDonald's, I think, over the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, why don't you step in the back?
And I'm going to stand over the French.
Okay, you're going to burn yourself. You're going to burn yourself, sir. You're going to be a beautiful Harvey Dent looking person after you get half of your face fried in that oil fryer. Donald Trump should not mess with a high temperature fryer, right? Donald Trump is going to end up disfigured. He has never been around anything like that.
She said, I stood over those French fries. She never did. It turned out to be a lie. And when I mentioned that...
All right, cool. Prove it. Where's that proof, Donald? Let's call his campaign. Let's get a hold of his campaign, see if we got proof. That's a big story. She didn't work at McDonald's. Great. Where's your proof? Where's your proof? You don't have it, do you? You don't have proof. Just like you didn't have proof that Obama was born in Kenya. Dude, you're the last person in the world to call anyone a liar. You are a world-class bullshit artist, all right? A liar? You're going to say she's a liar? All this guy's ever done is lied. His whole fucking life is a lie. Like the idea that he's a billionaire, the idea that he's a successful businessman, the idea that he wrote The Art of a Deal, lie, 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 lie. This man is living in a house of lies that if you scrape the gold paint off of, you're going to find bullshit as the superstructure for that building.
He's fallen into a trap because you ever see that? Whenever I criticize, they say, all the stupid people, the anchors back there. No, they say, he fell into a trap, her trap. She can't set a mental trap. There is no... But if she...
I know, it'd be really bad if a mentally disabled person, Donald, had tricked you into harming yourself in a debate, had tricked you into talking about your crowd sizes, which is not what the question was about. The question was your favorite topic, immigrants. You were going to get to talk about immigrants, and you were probably going to relate them to crime. You were probably going to cherry pick like the worst criminal violent incidents that you could possibly find and portray that as if all the immigrants coming into our country are committing heinous violent crimes. And you didn't get to do that. Why didn't you get to do that? Because you were talking about your crowd size. Sorry, your crowd. It was definitely about the crowd size that you were defending. You had to defend your crowd size, remember? January 6th was bigger than Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech. This is what this guy's all about. He can't help himself. He cannot help himself, right?
He says something wrong, like in the...
And also he's posting his L's. He's posting his L's here, right? Oh, they say that she trapped me. They say that she tricked me. She couldn't trick me. she's mentally disabled.
She said,
But I am very smart. I'm a stable genius. Did I tell you?
something wrong, I questioned it. She said another thing.
That's what Dr. Ronnie Kofefe Jackson said.
I made her look bad. She said another thing. They don't want me to ever question. They said, oh, he fell into a trap. He questioned the fact on Charlottesville, which was totally debunked. On all.
Well, again, if it's not your topic, right? You've got topics. This is what you. Oh my God. I feel like I'm being drafted into the Trump campaign. I feel like I am now a contestant wrangler for Mr. Beast. And I'm having to wrangle this contestant into, now, you know, Donnie, we talked about this before, right? We want to talk about criminals. We want to talk about immigrants. We want to talk about immigrant criminals. Those are our 3 topics, right? If they ask you a question about something else, pivot to criminal immigrants. It's a bunch of criminal immigrant crime, right? That's what we want to say. That's what we want to talk about, right? Or you know, say that Biden's economy is bullshit, right? Hit him where it hurts. But instead, he's defending. And if you're defending Donald, you should know this. People have given him credit for knowing this, right? People have scolded Democratic candidates for not understanding this. If you are explaining, if you are defending, you are losing. You are losing that debate. You are harming yourself, no matter how well you think you acquit yourself, right? No matter how well you think you defend yourself, right? If you get so defensive that you change from talking about one of your strong suits, one of the points where, you know, you are actually polling above Kamala in, you're losing. You're losing in 2 ways. You're missing your opportunity costs, right? You're not getting to say inflation. Biden did an inflation, and it's Kamala's fault too. You're not getting to say crime, immigrant crime. The immigrants are committing all the crimes. You're not getting to say any of the things you want to say, and instead you're saying, I didn't say that Nazis were okay people in Charlottesville. Everyone's debunked that. No, that's definitely not what I was saying. I was talking about the other neo-Confederates defending the statue of Robert E. Lee. Those were the good people. I was talking about not the people with swastikas. I was talking about the people with Confederate flags. You're not helping yourself. You're not helping yourself, right? That's a distinction almost without difference.
Of these stories that were totally debunked, fake stories, he mentions them. But yesterday, this is one I never heard, that I ripped the baby out of the cribs. No, that might have been Obama and other people, but it wasn't us.
We didn't rip any babies.
At the safest border in the history of our country, and even a sign that I put down, fortunately. I put that
The safest border ever.
down, and I love that sign.
What's he talking about?
I love the graph. You know the graph? Like,
Okay, no, he's talking about the graph that he had up in Wilkes-Barre. Is that what it's called? Wilkes-Barre? In Pennsylvania, where he turned to look at the graph, and people speculate that's why the bullet missed him. That's what he's talking about. The Jesus graph.
a blue, gold, and red graph. It's my favorite piece of paper, perhaps anywhere in the world. But she's so radical, she even wants to legalize fentanyl right away. Fentanyl will kill.
Yeah, that's right. That's in Kamala's playbook. That's her policy. She's like, oh, legalize the fenny. No, come on. Where is he even getting this? She wants to legalize fentanyl. That's what he said.
You just a little tiny, on the top of a pin and you're dead. I have so many friends that have lost their children to fentanyl. No, we're going to do something else. We're going to get China that if they send us any fentanyl, I had this deal done with him, but
she was talking about the import of the precursors for fentanyl from China and stopping that. She was not talking about legalizing fucking fentanyl, no.
But Biden never got it finished. Do you think he lied?
She's gonna legalize heroin. She's gonna legalize crack cocaine.
Awake at night thinking about fentanyl and death. No, I had the deal done, and then we had a bad election. We got more votes than anybody that ever ran for office. Think of it, more votes than any sitting president in the history of our country.
But less votes than Joe Biden. And that's why you lost. You also got less votes than Hillary Clinton. Lucky for you, that's not what the presidency is decided on. It's decided on the electoral votes, of which you did win, right? But you have never won a plurality, let alone a majority of the votes in any election you've run on. This is loser Donald. People, by and large, don't want him.
We lost by just a little bit. Just a little.
That's why I asked if I could find, can you find me 1,100 votes here in the state of Georgia?
I was told if I got 63 million votes, which is what we got in 2016, we got millions.
It's a prescription drug? Yeah, what does he mean by she's going to legalize it? What does that even mean then?
Millions more votes, more than anybody's ever gotten. More votes than any sitting president has ever gotten. And
less votes than Joe Biden.
Just by a little bit. No, we got to make sure there's no cheating, and we're working hard on that. We got more lawyers. We got more people watching. And I told them, if we win and when we win, we're going to prosecute people that cheat on this election. And if we can, we'll go back to the last one, too, if we're allowed. But we're going to prosecute people, so at least they know that's going to happen. And I said that because...
he admits it again. What did he say, though? It was like a little bit subtle. Just by a little bit. Just by a little. All these hand motions that he makes.
We have to have strong borders. You need two things, strong borders and fair elections. And we have neither, but we're going to do numbers too big to rig, right? Too big to rig. And, you know, there comes a point when they can't cheat. And when you see the lines going back, like even today, lines going back for miles to get in. And this, a lovely building, I don't want to insult anybody. It's a lovely building. But if this building were 20 times larger, it wouldn't be big enough. And why should they do that to all the people that journeyed from all over your great state? When I saw these...
Wait, what is he even saying now?
Crime numbers yesterday,
what is he even saying now? I don't get it.
First time they'd ever been released. They don't release numbers on murders, but they did. Somebody probably liked me. They said, boy, this is unfair. But they released them. I said, you know, this is the real deal. This is something that's very special. There's nothing as serious as this. Nothing can be as serious as this. Because this gets down to the very fabric of our society, your way of life. I mean, you're going to be looking around over your shoulder all the time. Communities that were safe. This is more important in a way than inflation, which is a disaster in this country. She's destroyed our middle class, our senior citizens.
Okay, so he's back on inflation. See, this is what you should have been trying to talk about during the debate. You didn't get to talk about the stuff during the debate. Does he not get that? He's like, she didn't trap me, she didn't trick me, she didn't get me. And it's like, dude, this is your favorite shit to talk about, obviously. Like, your team knows that, you know that, and instead you're talking about your crowd size? That's a big L, Donald. Even Aiden Ross will tell you that's an L.
This is more important than anything having to do with the economy. We'll make it better. We'll make the economy. This is something bigger in a sense, because this is the fabric of our country. She's letting in people who are going to walk into your house.
Can we get Hannibal Lecter in here? Paging Dr. Lecter.
And they'll do anything they want.
No.
They'll do anything they want. These people are animals. She's released people. These people are animals.
God, I hate that his team has gotten him to not say Hannibal Lecter anymore. Right? That's my favorite thing about Trump. When he talks about Hannibal Lecter, when he talks about the shark and the battery, that's the best Trump. That is objectively the best Trump, and they won't let Trump be Trump, right? If I was one of his handlers, that's one of the things that I would do, is be like, you know what, you're committed to the Dr. Hannibal. I would be his favorite person. If one of his campaign managers was like, no, actually the Dr. Hannibal Lecter shit is genius, that would be the top person. That person's getting promoted, right? You just got to kiss this man's ass and you'll be his favorite, his favorite like political analyst, right? You'll be in charge of everything.
So they'll say, oh, that's a terrible thing for him to say. No. These people are animals. These are stone cold killers. They're heartless, and They wake up the next morning and they don't even think about what they did the day before. These are real killers. These are real killers. These are the worst. These are people that have been in jail for many years. These are people that killed many people.
It's just funny because he's talking about people with like sociopathic tendencies, and these are the tendencies he's displayed his whole fucking life.
They took them out of their jails. You know, in Venezuela, their jails are almost empty. All over the world. You know, this isn't just South America. The Congo.
How much do Republicans believe this shit? Like, how much do they care, right? But how much do they believe? Do they believe that, like, literally Venezuela is like, hey, prisoners, get out of jail. We're gonna send you to the border with the United States, and if you can climb over Trump's shitty wall, then you can be in the good old USA, right? Do they believe that? Because it doesn't make sense. It's not a thing. If you got somebody in jail, you got somebody in jail. You're not gonna risk, like, what, putting them out into, like, you're saying that they're freeing their prisoners, right? I don't think that's what's going on.
Their jails are almost empty. The Congo.
It's just like he can write a story with it. He's like, oh no, this was what's happening. Who are the people that are coming into the country?
But now they're a freaking communist.
They're communist invading radicals, right?
Africa. They took them out. They bring them into our country. Many, many countries, their jails are almost empty. Some are empty. Some are much less than that. I would do it the same thing. I would have
Bill Blair says Jill Stein won that debate without even being there.
been better than any of them. I would have had everybody out of there. Some of them still have people. They probably couldn't get buses to get them in, right? You know, you need a lot of buses, but they're bringing them into our country at levels never seen before. And your law enforcement over here had...
Okay, I don't want to spend too much time on this, but we got... Let's see, this is in Erie, Pennsylvania. See if we can find this one. Trump, Erie. Oh my god, if I can spell Erie, Pennsylvania.
Ladies and...
No. What kind of hoggery is this? Nope, let's see. They're playing Proud to be American.
Well, I want to thank everybody. There has never been spirit. You know, we did great, as you know, in 2016. We did much better in 2020. Bad things happened there. But there's never been spirit like we have for this one. Something's going on that's very special.
Oh no.
I want to say hello, Pennsylvania. I'm thrilled to be back in this.
Chat, there's no closed captions, meaning I can't find where he says we're gonna have to use another version of this.
Thank you. Whoa.
So we gotta zero in on this. No, show transcript, yes. Where does he say rough? You're gonna make me search for it, Donald. You're gonna make me search for it. He really has not said the word rough. 1 hour and 10 minutes into the speech? No shot. Did I misspell rough somehow? Okay, so he does say rough quite a bit, actually. He keeps on saying "rip to baby." All right, let's just put it on here.
And the fake news doesn't want to talk about it. Although I heard a major...
Wait.
People get bored with Uncle Sam. It's just basic. She said she worked so hard, she sweated over French fries at McDonald's, and she never worked there. It turned out to be a lie. And the fake news doesn't want to talk about it. Although I heard a major...
But they're all like, yo, it's a lie. It's a lie. Like, he hasn't offered anything. He's just like, she didn't work at McDonald's. It's like, you didn't stream on Twitch. I didn't stream on Twitch. Are you sure about that? Is that really what you want to hang your hat on? Like, right? Instead, you should be attacking me for being a scumbag Twitch streamer who serves you top of the hour ad breaks every hour on the hour for 3 minutes at a time. Ad breaks that you too can get out of for the low price of free by using an Amazon Twitch Prime sub, or by possibly getting yourself a discounted sub during this month of September, or even by being gifted a sub, which can happen and does happen, but is more likely to happen to you if you're active in the chat.
Newspaper's doing a big story on it. It's a lie. It's a total lie. She never worked at McDonald's, but she lies about everything, and we can't let her get into office, and that's why I'm a little bit rougher than I would normally be. You know, we started off with crooked Joe Biden, and they kept him in a basement. They got lucky because of the horrible...
I love the idea of Joe Biden in a basement. Like, this is like
COVID
keeping him in a basement, feeding him candy bars.
situation. We did an amazing job with COVID. I got credit for the economy. I got credit for the military. We took out ISIS. We rebuilt them. I got a lot of credit. Space Force. Never got credit. And what we did was amazing. Nobody knew what it was. What we did was amazing. With all of the things that we did were amazing, actually. But you know, when he came in, and then he comes along and he stops, and all of a sudden you realize, and now we got him as a president, and the wall stopped and everything stopped, and people started coming in. Oh, is my favorite of all time, my favorite graph, in fact, my favorite document of all time, and I have some good ones. There is never a document like this.
I have some really good documents. Yeah, Trump is known for his great documents.
You have?
Like the document where he contracted a ghostwriter to write The Art of a Deal for him. That was a good that was a really great document, right?
They don't even know I'm going to be asking for this. This reminds me, oh, they're unbelievable. No, they didn't even know. That's my favorite document. That document saved my life.
Yeah, he's been using visual aids a lot more. We'll look at one more story involving Trump and visual aids before we get started with the Chud Logic shit.
Immigration saved my life. Without that document, I would not be here. Without that document, I wouldn't be talking to you. Without that document, we're not here. Because that document's always on my left. It's always on my left. It's always at the end of the speech, not the beginning. And I had...
Wait, we gotta listen to this. Okay.
I said...
So, chat, do you remember David Muir, the one of the debate moderators? Right? He's focused a lot of his hatred on this guy. I think he used to like him. I can't remember what it was, but David Muir did something once that Trump liked. And so he actually regards this as sort of a stab in the back. Even though it's like, he's a journalist. He's supposed to be objective. You lied on stage. He corrected the record.
How about that guy? Pretty boy. You know, we call him Pretty Boy.
We call him Pretty Boy.
That's about it.
We call him Brokeback Mountain.
But you know what?
What are you saying? What are you saying? This is like some...
I said... crime.
No, because his back is bad, and his back is bad, and he's built like a mountain. He's like the mountain from Game of Thrones. Obviously, that's what Brokeback Mountain means. What did you think it meant? What did you think he was saying? No, chat.
Is at a level like we've never seen. It's rampant. It's rising. Okay. He interrupts me. I'm sorry, sir. crime in this country has gone down.
Straight up it has. Straight up.
I said, you know, without looking at numbers, is there anybody in this room that think that crime has gone down? It's gone through the roof. And
oh, okay. So we shouldn't look at numbers. We should look at what? Vibes when you're scaring these people? When you're regaling them with stories of horror show violent crimes? And then attributing that to undocumented people? As if the crime rate for undocumented people was not lower than that that there is for citizens? That kind of shit? Yeah.
Largely because
that kind of shit.
Migrant crime. It's not only that. You know, in New York, you can't walk in.
Wait, what kind of nonsense is Vernon talking about here? It's illegal for her to run for president anyway? This is like some trutherism here. What, was she born in Kenya too? What are you going to say? Even if she does, why would it be illegal for her to run for president? What kind of fucking conspiracy dog shit is this? She will be put right back out? Show me one vote from a citizen to elect her to run for president. See, Vernon Stevens doesn't know that political candidates, the nominees, are not voted for by people. They're voted for by delegates. Those delegates were elected by people in the Democratic primary. And when their first choice, Joe Biden, withdrew his name from consideration, backed out, they said, okay, I guess I'm going with Kamala. So yeah, she was voted for, Vernon. Sorry. I don't know what kind of fucking cope you're puffing over there, but it cannot be good for you. Is that some galaxy juice? Some galaxy gas?
To a drugstore now, it's like you're in a prison of glass. If you want to buy aspirin, you have to wait 45 minutes for a clerk to come up and open because what's gone on.
You know who doesn't know that, though? You know who doesn't deal with that? You know who doesn't buy his own aspirin? This guy. Motherfucker acting like he goes to the drugstore to buy his own aspirin. They're like, oh, hi, Mr. Trump. You'll have to wait for the employee to come and unlock your aspirin because it's behind a glass wall because of all the shoplifting that's supposedly going on, even though we're just at 2019 levels.
And every drugstore, I just lost one. I had a nice tenant. I just lost a tenant. Had a beautiful tenant at 40 Wall Street. I just lost a tenant. They opened a big chain drugstore. Big, beautiful chain. They opened. They were doing such great business. 40 Wall Street, right across from the stock exchange. They gave me no.
Welcome in, communist invading radicals.
Notice. They said, we're going to have to close because the shelves, the people walk in, they just take everything they want. They walk out of the store. What the hell is going on?
That's kind of a metaphor for what you do in terms of just lying to people. You walk into their heads. You take what you want. You manipulate them. You make them afraid with lies, and you just walk right out of there with no fucking pangs of conscience whatsoever. Right? This guy, his whole life has been a lie. His whole life has been a con. This is Don the Con over here.
See, we have to let the police.
And he's used to ripping people the fuck off.
Their job. And if they have to be.
Yeah, let's let the law do its job on you, buddy. They have to strap a little ankle bracelet around you. I mean, that's what this guy's running for, right? That's why he's running for president. People ask, why is he running for president? He's put him on all this danger. This guy's got to run for president to try to not have to face the charges against him. That's his only chance now, right? Become president, control the Justice Department, force them to drop the charges against you.
And you know, the funny thing with all of that stuff, look at the department stores, same thing. They walk into you see these guys walking out with air conditioners, with refrigerators on their back.
With refrigerators on their back. Okay, no. Air conditioners was one thing, right? Air conditioner is probably not something that anybody's going to shoplift. But you could imagine, right? Especially on a hot day, you could imagine somebody making that work. You could imagine somebody just so bold. They just pick up the air conditioner. Maybe they even find a receipt or something to hold on to act like they bought it. I don't know what they do. You would imagine that, right? What you can imagine, though, is a refrigerator on their motherfucking back, but that is what the Donald just said.
And you know, the funny thing with all of that stuff, look at the department stores, same thing. They walk into you see these guys walking out with air conditioners, with refrigerators on their back, crazy.
With nuclear submarines strapped to them. Yeah.
And the police aren't allowed to do their job. They're told, if you do anything, you're going to lose your pension, you're going to lose your family, your house, your car. The police want to do it. The Border Patrol wants to do it. Border Patrol, they're incredible. They want to do it. They're not allowed to do it because the liberal left won't let them do it.
They won't let them do it, right? We could have the purge, but the liberal left won't let them do it.
The liberal left wants to destroy them, and they want to destroy our country. You know, if you had one day, like one real...
Here we go.
...day with the drugstores as an example, where when they start walking out with... You know, she created something in San Francisco. $950 you're allowed to steal. Anything above that.
This is his favorite story, right? You got a shoplifter with a pocket calculator tabulating how much $950 of goods are, so they can steal $949, but no more. And thus, what? And you're allowed to, like, not even, no charges, no nothing? You stole under 950? Actually, I think I know what this is, right? And if I understand this correctly, I don't think it's even like a government law type thing. I think it is a store type thing, right? They don't prosecute shoplifters, even the ones they catch on camera, until that shoplifter has stolen a certain amount of merchandise. They let them go, let them accrue a certain amount that's gonna, I don't know, like, graduate the charges, make the penalties more severe, right? They purposefully wait until they've got that amount of documented that this person's stolen, and then the next time the person comes into the store to shoplift, that's when they nab them. That is a real thing. What he's saying of shoplifters sitting there with calculators trying to tabulate $950 because they know that Kamala Harris will, like, let them steal that much without any fucking problem whatsoever in San Francisco. And, you know, this was like more than 10 years ago too. It's not relevant to the current. You know, if there was, like, I don't get gaslit by this, right? There's not really a shoplifting situation. There's not a crime situation. Most crime is down. We're kind of at record lows. As shoplifting is up, but only in the sense that there was a dip after COVID, and now it's come back to, like, basically 2019 levels. So essentially, since 2019, no difference, no change in shoplifting. But he wants you to think that it's this big thing.
You will be prosecuted. Well, it works out that the 950 is a misnomer because you can steal whatever you want. You can go way above. But you'd see, originally you saw kids walk in with calculators.
Originally you saw kids walk in with calculators. Guess what he's not going to produce? Guess what they're never going to show you? They're never going to show you a fucking kid with a calculator tabulating how much they can go steal. And, like, they're not going to show you that because it didn't fucking happen.
Calculate.
You just make it up.
They want to go over the 950.
Bro is just lying. This is the guy that just told us that dudes were walking out with refrigerators on their backs. And like a air conditioner under each arm.
$1, they're standing with calculators, adding it up. You know, these are smart people. They're not so stupid, but they have to be taught. Now, if you had one really violent day, like a guy like Mike Kelly, put him in charge. Congressman Kelly, put him in charge for...
And look, chat, I looked up Congressman Kelly. I want to know why Trump is painting him. He's in Pennsylvania right now, so it makes sense that this is the Pennsylvania, a congressman from Pennsylvania. So that part makes sense, but what doesn't make sense is I didn't really find anything super violent, like in his... Like, he is a conspiracy theorist. He is an asshole. He got a whole bunch of PPP, almost $1 million in PPP loans forgiven. Did not pay those off. He has a financial scandal conflict of interest in stock purchases, apparently. But the closest thing that I found to violence was in July 2024, following the attempted assassination of Donald Trump in Kelly's hometown. Kelly initially released a post, I'm guessing a tweet, that stated, "We will not tolerate this attack from the left," despite there being no information about the shooter's background or motivation. The post was subsequently deleted. So right after finding out that the shooter is in fact a Republican, the post was deleted. But, you know, you could say that that reads like an attempt to inspire violence, right? To immediately blame the attack on the left. It does feel like he's trying to get something started. But as far as this police violence that Donald Trump thinks that he would unleash in order to stop shoplifting, right? Just let the cops go nuts on people for 1 to 2 hours. Yeah, this is a dirty congressman too. There's a lot of dirty congressmen that the Republicans are just willing to let slide. I'm still not seeing why Trump chose this guy. It must just be because he's the guy whose district it is.
Mike, would you say, he's right here. He's a great congressman. Would you say, Mike, that if you were in charge, you would say, "Oh, please, don't touch them. Don't touch them. Let them rob your store. Let all these stores go out of business, right? They don't pay rent. The city doesn't have the whole. It's a chain of events. It's so bad." One
of Kelly's own constituents shot at Trump. I guess he might be in that district.
Hour, and I mean real rough. The word will get out, and it will end immediately. End immediately. You know, it'll end immediately. Crooked Joe Biden became mentally impaired. Sad.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. So this is the clip where he says, like, there's two clips. Okay, so we got two clips now of.
So peaceful up here, but now there are freaking communists invading radicals.
He starts off saying Crooked Joe Biden became mentally impaired. But Kamala Harris, honestly, she was born with that. Oh my God. So here we go. This is something that he's repeating. So anybody that thought it was a one-off, Donald Trump got a wild hair up his ass and decided to call Kamala Harris mentally impaired one time, and that he was just going to leave it at that and say, "Ooh, yeah, I shouldn't have done that. I'm not going to do that again." Nope. This is a pattern.
But lying Kamala Harris, honestly, I believe she was born that way. There's something wrong with Kamala, and I just don't.
There's something wrong with Donald.
I don't know what it is, but there is
And I've been trained to not notice it.
definitely something missing. And you know what? Everybody knows it.
I have never seen a presidential candidate try to persecute their opponent for being mentally impaired. I have never seen a presidential candidate do the equivalent of calling their opponent the R slur, the chud logic word, as a reason not to vote for them. Wait, where's that laughter coming from? Oh. Yo, oh no, you know what this is, chat? This is Donald Trump trying to clip her. This is Donald Trump being a live streamer. This is Donald Trump doing his Aiden Ross impression. This is Donald Trump trying to lolcow Kamala Harris. And the problem is, Donald, The problem is, for someone like you, stepping that close to the lolcow spotlight is very likely to end up with that spotlight shining on you. Ooh, this is not a good move. This is not a good move for Trump. Like, there is shit with Trump to notice if you start noticing it, if you pay attention to it, right? If you do not ignore it, and you just document it, you just count the number of times, you just notice how fucking weird this guy is, you will drive yourself freaking batty. And if people start to notice Donald Trump's mannerisms, the way he's trying to focus their attention on Kamala's, he is in trouble.
I know the importance of safety and security, especially at our border.
Who really is Kamala Harris? She's been telling us her entire career.
I support our sanctuary law. The illegal
Sanctuary law is the law that cops in cities want because it allows them to be able to talk to undocumented migrants. And if they are not able to talk to undocumented migrants because those people feel like talking to a cop would cause them to possibly be deported, then they are going to have a lot harder time solving the crime that does exist in every community, right? That's what sanctuary cities are. They make it sound like it's like, come on in, sanctuary city. We're not paying any attention to the law over here. You can just come on in and have sanctuary, right? But no, it's a very specific thing, and it has to do with law enforcement. That's
immigrant deported multiple times who stands accused of killing Kate Steinle, an undocumented.
Oh no, are we doing the fucking George H.W. Bush shit? Are we doing the Dukakis shit?
An immigrant is not a criminal.
Also at the Purge to reject that term illegal alien.
Are you aware that there's a perception? Are you aware that there's a
that
perception?
puts ICE in the same category as the KKK. Is that what you're asking me?
Abolish ICE.
Yeah.
Is that a position that you agree with?
We need to probably think about starting from scratch. We're not going to treat people who are
That's a great idea, by the way, starting from scratch.
undocumented cross-border criminals. I am opposed to any policy that would deny any human being public health, period.
You be committing to close immigration detention centers? Absolutely, on day one.
How come she hasn't applied consequences the last 3.5 years? 10 million illegal encounters, 2 million gotaways, 600% increase in sex trafficking, more terrorists coming across the border, a record number of people off the terrorist watch list, and over 250,000 Americans dead to fentanyl that comes across the border. Consequences, there ought to be consequences for her failure.
We have a secure border. The border is secure.
Sickening new details about the murder of Georgia nursing student Laken Riley. The 22-year-old was...
I can't tell if they are slowing down. Like they're seems to be like tape distortion or something. I can't tell if it's the is it just the music that's like that?
beaten to death with a mystery object.
Is the music purposefully like detuning?
We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe. And I don't...
Kamala Harris. Do you trust her to stop the invasion?
So this is his visual aid. I think probably inspired by his near assassination, Donald Trump has decided that the visual aid is his good luck charm in this election, and I anticipate him using more of it. Right now, that's a very simple use of it. I'm sure that other candidates have done that, like to put it on an ad during their speech. But yeah, he's definitely got a strange... I don't know how better to say it than a lolcow strategy, right? He is going to try to lolcow Kamala Harris. And again, the danger of that is that he becomes the juicier target for ridicule. Because in so many ways, this man is beyond parody. And so, a lot of those ways that we've stopped paying attention to. We're so used to his goofy dances. We're so used to his weird facial expressions. We're so used to his hand speak that we don't really concentrate on it. But that could easily change. And with this strategy, Trump is inviting exactly that. The question is, will the Harris campaign have what it takes to turn his ridicule around on him? So far, they have. So far, that is what the Kamala HQ Twitter account does best. Whatever comes out of the Trump camp, they send it back at him. And I can only wonder what they're going to do with this. But yeah, I think we watched our Trump clips. Yeah, we did. We watched our Trump clips. We got our Trump clips for the day. Wait, what is this?
And I'm a victim, I will tell you. I'm a victim. Think of it.
That kind of sums it all up.
We didn't watch all of his stuff, right? I didn't know about this I'm a victim thing.
There, doesn't it? Donald Trump's entire campaign is being run on grievance and victimhood. But those are the
What can we say? He's a victim.
hallmarks of a cult. And the cult leader says, we're all victims. I'm a victim. They're coming to get me. Please protect me. Now, Donald Trump's most recent statements about what went down at the Florida Golf Club in this alleged assassination attempt there, where the individual has been charged, who, by the way, was a 2016 Trump supporter and Trump voter. Donald Trump's just again lying about this, turning a very serious matter into something very Trumpian. Not sure if you saw, but in the recent speech he gave in Walker, Michigan, Donald Trump says that the reason for these assassination attempts is because of his policy on tariffs and what he wants to do in terms of tariffing other nations. He doesn't even know what tariffs are, but listen to what he says here. Play this clip.
Had in this state, your car industry will be as big relatively as it was 60 years ago when you were like dominant. It's not dominant anymore. This is why people in countries are all after Trump. This is why.
People in countries, god damn them.
You know, the only one that has
Those fucking people in countries.
shots fired at them, that throbbing feeling, right? The only one are consequential presidents. When I
Look, the only one that doesn't know better than to play golf in a public course facing the road. I'm sorry, is it a public course? What, regardless, like, right, in a golf course facing the fucking road. I don't know.
do these things, I've got a lot of enemies out there. I've got a lot.
And again, the first incident in Butler, Pennsylvania, the individual was a MAGA guy, white, male, Republican, MAGA guy.
Not only that, but he was also a debate bro. The first shooter was a fucking debate bro, a debate lord, a high school debate lord. This kid, his classmates say that he would always try to engage them in some sort of political debate and just like ridicule them for liking anyone, right? Trump, Bernie, Hillary. He would just like, he was like the worst kind of debate lord, right? He doesn't just like, you know, oh, let's like talk about politics since that's what I am obsessed with, right? He's, you know, let's talk about politics. Oh, by the way, you're fucking stupid. You're the worst, right? I don't know. It's just like,
was a 2016 Trump supporter. And Donald Trump saying, oh, this is just because they're so scared of my tariff policy. Your tariff policy is the stupidest thing ever. You don't know what tariffs are. It's an import on you. It's a tax on imports of United States companies. But this is how Donald Trump has been handling this all along. When Donald Trump did not like the testimony of FBI Director Christopher Wray about the incident in Butler, Pennsylvania, what does Donald Trump do? Mind you,
Trump is Vince McMahon's puppet.
This is a Republican FBI director who Donald Trump appointed. Well, Donald Trump reposts Tucker Carlson and says Christopher Wray, who's the FBI director, is a liar and a criminal, and I hope he's reading this. And then Donald Trump posts memes of Christopher Wray to intimidate, threaten, and harass the FBI director who Trump appointed. That says, this is what Trump posted. What did you know and when did you know about it? Read Truth if you want to know who ordered the assassination attempt of Donald Trump. And then, there is the kind of perpetual victimhood that goes on. So Donald Trump has his top surrogate, Alina Habba, who says that, when Donald Trump's out there playing golf every day, he's risking his life for you, the people. That's what's happening. He's risking his life playing golf. Here, play this clip.
He's completely unrelenting. He will go out there today and do the same thing he has always done because he is so determined to save this country, even when it means risking his life not once, but twice. And that's all that we know of. So you know him, Martha. That's who the man is. He is just the...
So she said it just there. That's all that we know of, as in there could have been other attempts on his life, just like there could have been attempts on the life of the current president or of Kamala Harris, or... Right, there is stuff that happens that doesn't get released until later, right? And that exists for other candidates as well. So it's just weird that she'd bring that up. That's all we know of. Maybe there's more, right? Yeah, there were shots fired in the Obama White House that you didn't hear about until, I don't know, like years after it happened.
Fiercest fighter that America could ask for. So what you're...
It should be noted that both the Secret Service and FBI assessment of Donald Trump was that they provided to him was that he shouldn't be playing golf in courses that have a direct line of view to public highways and roads. That he could play golf other places. And Donald Trump says, no, I'm just going to play golf wherever I want to play golf here. And, then Donald Trump's wife, Melania, she's trying to sell her book, right? So she's now pushing that the FBI must somehow be involved in this. And again, she's complicit with Donald Trump in everything. And so she's out there saying that this was an interview that she just gave. And she said, well, because no one's talking about the assassination attempts anymore, there's something suspicious going on here. There's something suspicious here. Play this clip.
We were told this week, and we were told that authorities have already known this for a while, that there wasn't a...
Now, what's weird about this is any attempt to massage the narrative from Trump and Melania actually risks making it sound like they are using this situation cynically. Right? And whether they are or not, I mean, there's no way to, necessarily know that, right? But it's something that most people would give them the benefit of the doubt on. Unless they start like, why is no one talking about the fact that there was an assassination attempt? Well, because it doesn't change people's minds. Right? If they were going to vote for him already, maybe they feel like a little extra lump well up in their throat when they see Donald Trump with the American flag waving behind him and hear some patriotic song, right? But they were going to vote for him anyway. It changes nothing. That's why no one's talking about it, because it's not changing the race. People that are going to vote against him, are they don't like that there was an attempt on his life, but it doesn't make them be like, oh no, actually I'm going to vote for this guy, right? This piece of shit candidate that I hate. I'm going to vote for him now because I feel bad about him getting shot. That's not how voting works.
Iranians.
That's not how anything works.
To kill your husband. So I watched this video that you released on social media questioning the first assassination attempt. For the second one, if they knew that there was this plot, why didn't they sweep the golf course?
You know, it's interesting how quiet and everything became, all of the mainstream media. There were a few days reporting about July 13 event, and everything then became quiet. So,
well, there's a lot of things about Donald Trump that are remarkable, right? There's a lot of ridiculous things that he says. There's a lot of lies that he gets caught in. There's a lot of things that get exposed about the guy. And because these remarkable things that with any other president would come to define their presidency, would be a major scandal for them, because Donald Trump has so many of them, it becomes a non-story. And he says, grab her by the pussy. And then 2 weeks later, people are like, oh, I don't know. It doesn't change anything. It doesn't change anything. The people that were going to vote for him, they're still going to vote for him, right? This is the weird curse of Trump. And for once, we're working against him, because it does feel like there's a conscious attempt on the part of Trump and Melania to use this situation to get him reelected. That is Trump's victimhood. That is what this story is about. That's what this segment is about. Like and subscribe.
I had a lot of questions. What's going on? This is not normal. And is it really shocking that all this egregious violence goes against my husband, especially that we hear the leaders from the opposition party and mainstream media branding him as a threat to democracy, calling him vile names. They only fueling a toxic atmosphere and giving power all of these people that they want to do harm to him. This needs to stop. This needs to stop. The country
The
needs
Green super chatted $7.39. Lol, I mean Pierce Morgan.
Pierce Morgan, it is. Also, Greenest Faye, I don't know why your super chat did not get read. Chat, am I missing? Are my alerts fucking up again? Greenest Faye says, you guys have the rest of the way here, but I want to see Mediasan call out Tucker. You guys have the rest of the way there? I have to get the rest of the way there. Oh, you mean in terms of the stream, I think. Pierce it is. Okay, so let me add these, if I can figure out how Canada money works. Okay, so yes, I can make this happen. Okay. Mediasan gets 37. And Pierce Morgan. Oh, I mean Pierce Morgan and Mediasan. Oh, instead of Tucker. I got it. I got it. And then add... I think it makes it up to 54 then. And then... Wait, 10% plus It's 50. Yeah. Okay, so the donut goes. I'm sorry, chat. I'm having trouble doing math tonight.
Unite. And I encourage everybody to read my letter that I wrote on July 14 again, because that cannot continue.
Letter was very powerful. What made you get to the point of writing that letter?
That's how I felt. That's how I felt.
You know, what's going on here is that Donald Trump has not been forthcoming about anything. He has not released the medical records from Butler, Pennsylvania. When he's asked about how he's doing, what his health was after the Butler event, he said that he's a fast.
Yeah, the irony of all of Donald Trump's scandals that he tried to push on other people, right? The Obama birth certificate thing being the first and foremost in my mind, right? You've actually got a situation in which there is information that should be public record that seems to be missing. Now, that doesn't mean that he didn't get shot. That doesn't mean that he didn't get hurt, but it is weird. And it is feeding into this line of thought that apparently a lot of people think this, that there was, you know, some kind of a exaggeration or maybe even a, you know, that he faked his injury or something like that. That's a pretty wild theory, considering, you know, how easy it would be for somebody to, if you were to, you know, somehow fake the injury, how easy it would be for somebody to see him injure himself if that was what happened. But I don't know what the theory is. It doesn't make sense to me. It does seem like he got you know, hit with a bullet or a fragment from a bullet.
Healer, and that he was shot in the lobe. And look, the bottom line is that if you were shot by an AR-15 bullet in your face, it leaves a mark. We'll just say that. But Trump can't even articulate. He doesn't even know what an earlobe is. Like when Trump said this. Here, play this clip.
Yeah, pretty much recovered. Yeah, I'm a fast healer. It's a hell of a shot.
Wait.
But I'm a fast healer. Yeah, pretty much recovered.
It's 44 or 45 more for Pierce.
No, it didn't hit that. I got very lucky. It just hit the.
Oh yeah.
As they call it.
The lobe, as they call it. No, that's not the lobe.
Yeah, a little bit, not much. On top.
Not only does Donald Trump not know what an earlobe is, for someone who claims to, you know, be this Second Amendment aficionado, and that he believes war should be everywhere, there shouldn't be common sense gun control, right? He brags. He says, remember what he said to the NRA? I did nothing. I'm not going to do. Remember what he said to the NRA? Here, play this clip.
During my 4 years, nothing happened, and there was great pressure on me having to do with guns. We did nothing. We didn't yield.
Okay, so wait, it should be this.
That's just the beginning. That's the avalanche begins.
But then in the speech that he gave Saturday,
I think that's right.
Donald Trump doesn't even know what an AK-47 is or an AR-15. He calls it an MK-47s. And again, this is just a constant victimhood by him.
That should be 44.
Venezuelan killers, street gang.
I think that's right.
Occupying the town with MK-47s. I know that gun very well. I got to know it very well.
Even I know that it's an AK-47. Donald, you're making me sad. He's like, I know guns. It's an MK-47, one of those kinds of guns.
I've become an expert on guns.
An MK-47.
Quickly.
What is he mixing up? Is he mixing up MK Ultra with AK-47?
My sons know guns. They couldn't believe what the story they heard.
As many life insurance. What Trump's been saying now about these assassination attempts. Let's play it.
It's been a great experience. It's a dangerous business, however, being president. It's a little bit dangerous. It's, you know, they think race car driving is dangerous. No. They think bull riding, that's pretty scary, right? No. This is a dangerous business, so we have to keep it safe.
So yet again, Donald Trump is playing the martyr and the victim and saying how dangerous it is to be president. I was kind of
AK Ultra
that the media presented the last assassination attempt as shots fired. The shots were fired by the Secret Service because they saw a muzzle of a gun. The fellow who was hiding out, yes, he had a gun, but he didn't shoot anything. And, you know, I think this whole escalation of violence can be laid at the feet of Trump from the beginning of 2015 as he was ramping up the rhetoric. What's interesting is that...
See, that's such an understatement. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's such an understatement. Yeah. You think that Trump has pushed violence? You think that Trump has said stuff that resulted in stochastic, you know, actions on his behalf? Oh yeah, I think so. I can think of a certain day in January when that happened. Yes, I do believe so. Yes, quite possibly. Thank you. He's mixing it up with the Iron Man armor. Wait, MK47? Wait, is there Iron Man armor that's MK47?
More and more less confident. Decompensating is the psychological term for it. And I'm really curious why he would say that he got a nice call from Biden and Kamala to his followers who booed, but he actually pretended to be sincere. Was he appealing to the religious, moral people of his base? Yes, I believe there are people who consider themselves to be moral. What do you think? Put your comments below. Thanks. Here, by the way, was Christopher Wray.
No, put your comments below, chat.
FBI director. This was his assessment of the Butler incident. Play this clip.
I think with respect to former President Trump, there's some question about whether or not it's a bullet or shrapnel that that hit his ear.
I thought they cleared this up, though. I thought they cleared this part up.
So it's conceivable, although as I sit here right now, I don't know whether that bullet, in addition to causing the grazing, could have also landed somewhere else. But I believe we've accounted for all of the shots and the cartridges.
And now I would say at least 65 to 70% of all of the emails being sent out by the Trump campaign for fundraising all involves assassination attempt stuff.
How long before Trump starts offering little pieces of his ear? Like, you know how he's doing all the stuff where he's selling the Trump cards, he's selling the Trump NFTs, and he's also selling $100,000 gold watches? We haven't watched that, have we?
Donald Trump selling assassination edition sneakers, assassination edition watches, assassination edition shirts, assassination edition hats. Like, could you imagine if Ronald Reagan, after the assassination attempt, started selling these trinkets over and over again? But here are some of the emails that you get from Trump every day, or J.D. Vance when they ask for money. Like this one over here from J.D. Vance. Another attempt on Trump's life. Then it blames it on Vice President Kamala Harris. Then it says, here's another one for September 22nd. I'm asking you to make a small sacrifice. I know these last few days have been very emotional. Donald Trump nearly lost his life for the second.
So these are the donation asks that are going out by email. Let's take a look at this. We haven't done the gold watches yet. This is Pod Save America, John Favreau.
Out there. So you've got your Trump trading card NFTs. You've bought Trump's coffee table book. You got Melania's memoir that she's out there hawking right now. You've stocked up on Trump and Son's private cryptocurrency, and yet you still want more. Well, today is your lucky day. Take a listen.
It's your favorite president, Donald J. Trump, here to introduce something really special. I think you're going to love it. My new Trump watches. This isn't just any watch. It's one of the best watches made, with almost 200 grams of gold and more than 100 real diamonds. That's a lot of diamonds. I love gold. I love diamonds. We all do. Owning one puts you in a very exclusive club. I have watch number one, and I'm going to keep it. It's mine, and that's the way I want to have it. Each watch is numbered and extremely rare, a true collector's item, and it includes a personal letter signed by me. Get your Trump watch right now. Go to gettrumpwatches.com. It's Trump time.
It's Trump time. Yo!
The Trump watch.
Did he actually just say it's Trump time, Chad? It's turbo time. Americans can't buy groceries, but please buy my $100,000 watch.
They're $100,000. $100,000. He's out there talking about Kamala Harris and...
That's not a watch. That's a bribe. Am I right about this, chat? Like, he might sell some of these, but he's not going to sell a lot of them. And he's going to kind of know every person that helped him out by buying one of those watches. I think this is the president's IPO, right? He just needs money that bad. He's going to take stockholders.
Joe Biden and inflation and...
How is this legal? How is this legal in an election year? This is This seems like massive conflict of interest. How is this legal?
People are getting killed with the cost, and he's a populist. The Republican Party under Trump. There's the Workers' People's Party. He's fucking selling $100,000 watches 40 days before an election. What is happening? What are we doing? I think that Kamala Harris should speak about this. I think she should, like, next time she's in an interview, she's at a rally, I would do an insert in the rally speech, in the stump speech. She should mock the $100,000 thing. She should paint him as this rich guy who doesn't give a shit about people. She's already doing that now. Now she's got something that's going to make news. I would put it in an ad that he's doing this. Like, this is insane. Insane.
I agree with all that. She should hammer it. The crypto thing is weird and kind of hard to explain to people.
Totally.
It's hard to make fun of someone for selling Bibles.
The trading cards thing is weird and hard to understand. NFTs. Yeah.
The sneaker. You left out the sneakers.
Sneakers you could do. The sneakers you could do.
Yeah. The gold.
How are they ignoring the golden goose? How are they ignoring the elephant in the room? That being Trumpy Bear. How are they ignoring Trumpy Bear?
Old sneakers, but the
Obama, you know what?
watch.
Obama wanted to do the sneakers in his convention speech. It fell out of a draft.
Did you take it out?
I don't know where it went. He
had to make room for
yes. I think that's what happened. I think that's what happened. But so the sneakers you could do, but the $100,000 watches, I would be doing this. I imagine our friend David Plouffe is salivating over this.
This is not the biggest point here, but I think
wait, is Plouffe working for the Kamala campaign?
The takeaway from this is that Donald Trump has fully become Fox News. Like, his speeches,
he's going to be selling Trump catheters soon.
They are Hannity, and everything else is just one long Fox commercial. It's this right here, selling gold sneakers. Don't say that's going to happen.
I know.
Wait, what did he say?
This is just one long Fox commercial.
It's
this right here, selling gold sneakers.
Cialis.
Don't say that's going to happen.
I know.
He's going to talk to them about their penises. Sometimes it needs a little help, folks.
Somewhere, Dad Jr. is working on.
That's why you're going to need Trump Cialis.
I don't know, man. I don't know. If you can't, like, if we elect this, I mean, who knows? Where it's a tie race. It's a tie race, and he's got an advantage on the economy. He's out there selling $100,000 watches. People are most upset that costs are too high. They can't afford a home, can't afford groceries. $100,000 watches. Who's buying that? Read
somebody that owns a piece of Trump.
Wants everyone to know
the people.
Like, you don't have to buy a piece of his earlobe. You can buy one of those watches.
Reed, who produces this show and writes this show, wants us to know that the fighter watch can be yours for as little as $500. That it's not. There is a low price point for folks who can't afford the $100.
Wait, what's the low price point?
Show and writes this show, wants us to know that the fighter watch can be yours for as little as $500. That it's not. There is.
Okay, so there's a $500 watch.
A low price point for folks who can't afford the $100,000. So I guess just to be fair.
Did Reed just Daniel Day-Lewis?
he was very concerned that I just want to make sure that the $100,000 that's the top echelon. That's the high price point.
Reed is remote, but I'm going to take a close look in the next couple of weeks to see if he's got a fighter watch on his wrist.
Chad, I gotta ask you, is that a normal price for a watch? Any watch knowers in chat? Trump Fox News special edition collab with Diamond, Gold Diamond watch win. More money for merch. Oh God, let me get my wallet. So yeah, there it is. The Trump watch. And the Trump fish. Trumpy bear. There's Trumpy bear and there's Trumpy trout.
The wind whispered through the forest. A storm is coming. You cannot defeat the storm. From the trees rose a resounding voice. I fear nothing. I come when the trumpet sounds. I am the storm, the great American grizzly. Introducing the original Trumpy bear.
Except no substitutes.
Super plush American grizzly. Trumpy bear was born June 14th, Flag Day. Just find
and probably some weird QAnon code.
The secret zipper and pull out the flag.
It's probably an astronomy thing.
Then wrap yourself in the red, white, and blue for comfort and warmth. Show your patriotism and proudly display Trumpy.
Sorry, not astronomy, astrology, different thing.
And on any American holiday, Trumpy can even honor your own family heroes.
God bless America, and God bless Trumpy Bear.
Trumpy Bear sits proudly at the front of the motorcycle for all the world to see and loves to cruise with his brother.
I'm a former Marine, and I'm proud to have Trumpy Bear ride by my side. Once a Marine, always a Marine.
Everyone knows Trumpy Bear loves to go to the golf course.
When I ride with Trumpy Bear, he makes my golf game great again. Thank you, Trumpy Bear.
Simply style his trademark hair and place him in his favorite chair, even the toughest.
Okay, so when you place him in his favorite chair, you are gonna have some action where that thing like moves around at night, right? You are just chilling in your bed and you look over and Trumpy Bear is not where you left him. Right? That thing is gonna get possessed.
Guys will love Trumpy Bear.
When America is great, business is great. When business is great, I am great. I love you, Trumpy Bear.
I am an Army veteran. I am proud to own the Trumpy Bear, and I will always be proud to be an American.
Order the Super Plush Trumpy Bear for only 2 payments of $19.95 and receive a
I mean, that's a steal compared to those watches.
Special certificate of
the thing is, I don't think Trump is necessarily getting any money from this. Like,
authenticity. Don't miss out on owning a piece of American history. Order now for only 2 payments of $19.95. Trumpy, the most fearless bear anywhere. Order now.
All right, let's take a look at the Trumpy trout really quick. It's a real ad on Newsmax.
A message from the 45th President of the United Ponds of America.
Let's make fishing great again, okay?
He's here, everyone's favorite fish.
Trumpy trout.
No one has ever seen a fish like me.
Trumpy trout is an animatronic talking fish with a big...
So now the first time I saw this, I gotta admit, I thought that these were some liberals that had made a parody commercial. Right, I thought there was no product, this product didn't really exist, and that the people making this were anti-Trump. I was soon corrected.
I am the hugely bigliest fish in the pond.
Watch his fins flap and his large...
That just doesn't look like a real thing.
...move as he makes speech after speech in high-fidelity sound.
Some bass are bad fish, crazy fish, criminal fish, and druggy fish. But some bass are good fish, and I only love some of them.
Mount him to your...
This is what I'm talking about, right? This is the part it's like, it's gotta be a parody.
Wall, or use the built-in stand to display him proudly on your desk. Now you'll never miss a Trumpy trout rally.
I'm building a new pond, and the bass will pay for it.
Okay, the only way that this product's really worth it is if you can hook it up to the internet And when Trump is giving a speech, it will like speak his speech so that when Trump is giving his speech and your Trump family can all gather around the Trumpy fish and watch the fish deliver the speech. You get the live speech from Donald Trump, but it's coming through the fish's mouth, right? Then it's worth it. Then it's worth it. You hook him up to any TV with Trump on it, and the fish will, you know, will voice Trump's
Set him
speech.
To activated to surprise his fins.
His fins? His fans? Oh god.
Fins are big. I have the biggest fins. No fish have fins like me.
Or turn him on and let his inspiring words delight the crowd.
All the fish love Trumpy. They just love me.
Catch Trumpy Trout for yourself or someone you love.
Oh, they can try, but they can't. They just can't.
Treat yourself to this limited edition Trumpy Trout for just $59.99.
It's a little bit more expensive than Trumpy Bear.
It comes with your official Make Fishing Great.
I mean, you need that certificate of authenticity so somebody doesn't think you just bought like a ripoff of
Certificate of
Make Fishing Great Again.
Order right now and we'll instantly upgrade you to the deluxe version with desktop stand and Trumpy Trout jingle free.
He is the greatest trout without a doubt, the biggest.
Really?
And for even more fun, we'll give you a discount when you buy more than one.
We got the shoreline secure. No bass in this pond.
Supplies are limited, so don't miss.
You notice that? In the beginning, he's like, we only like the good bass, right? We don't like the druggy bass. We don't like the bad bass. We don't like, right? And then no bass in the pond. That's mass deportation. God damn. See, this is what I mean. It feels like a dark parody, but this is a real product. Check the website if you want.
Your chance to hook the greatest fish of all time.
I am the greatest trout, and there is no doubt.
This is a limited edition collectible from Top Dog Direct. Order now at TrumpyTrout.com. That's TrumpyTrout.com.
It is Trumpy motherfucking trout. All right, so it is time to consolidate the streams. We are going to be talking about Mr. Chud Logic and his cautionary tale, how he left to the left. So jump over there. I've got the... I guess I need to pen this, don't I? I got the message penned. Go ahead and click on it. Or you'll just be taken possibly automatically. I'm not sure, chat. One or the other will work. So it's your chance to jump in there. And my chance to jump into streamer mode. That's right.